Hari Om to all the Atma Jyotis, divine light of the self. Very happy to be back with another session of Dharmakshetra, Bhagavad-gita study circle session. And we are in chapter 17. We will start with the prayer. Yes, Suma, you can carry on.
Dhyanam Atha Srimad Bhagavadgita Dhyanam Om Pathaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Amrutavarshinim Bhagavatim Astadashadyayiniം Ampatvam Anusandadhami Bhagavadgite Bhavatveshiniം Namostute Vyasavishala Buddhe Pullarvindayata Patranetra Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha Prajvalito Gnanamayah Pradipaha Prapanna Parijataya Totra Vetraikapanaye Gnanamudraya Krishnaya Gitamrutaduhe Namaha Sarvopanishado Gavo Dogdha Gopalanandanaha Patho Vatsat Sudhir Bhokta Dugdham Gitamrutam Mahat Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Bhishpatrona Tata Jayadratha Jala Gandharani Lotpala Shalyagrahavati Krupena Vahani Karnena Velakula Ashwathama Vikarna Ghora Makara Duryodhana Vartini Sotirna Khalu Pandavai Rananadi Kaivatakha Keshavaha Parasharya Vachasa Saroja Mamalam Gita Gandhotkatam Nanakyanaka Kesaram Harikata Sambodhana Bodhitam Loke Sajjana Shatpadairaha Pepiyamanam Muda Bhuyat Bharata Pankajam Kalimala Pradvamsina Shreyase Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangullangayate Girim Yat Krupa Tamaham Vande Paramanandamadhavam Yam Brahma Varunedra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedaisanga Patkramopanishadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyana Vastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yayoginaha Yasyantanna Vidusura Suraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha.
Very beautiful, Suma. Thank you for the chat.
Thank you.
Someone else can do the next week. Indra, perhaps you want to do? Let us see later.
Yes, Purnimaji, I'll do it.
Good. All right. So we are in the next portion of chapter 17. So in chapter 17, what have we learned so far? What has Bhagavan told us so far? Anyone? Can you recall what we have been told by Bhagavan so far about the Shraddha Traya? Shraddha regarding what aspects have we discussed? Anyone? No?
The three aspects, the sattvic, rajasic, tamasic aspects of all the food and then like Tyaga, Yajna, Dana.
Very good. Tapas.
Tapas, yes.
Yes. So mainly these four aspects have been highlighted in this chapter. What kind of food we have, what is the kind of yajna we do, the tapas we do, and the dana. So with regards to these as the focal points, the Sattvic Shraddha, all the three Shraddhas have been discussed in detail. Now, even in Sattvic Shraddha, what happens? You never know. There are some unknowables which go into our sadhana, always. We think we have done everything right, but still things, they won't be apparent to us. But there'll be some dosha somewhere. We cannot say that 100% I have done sattvic, work in all these four areas. Isn't it? Yes or no? So, Bhagavan has given us an easy way out. How to rectify the errors in our sattvic activities also. That is also so important. See, look at the compassion of the Lord. Everywhere is making it so easy for us, so easy for us, so easy for us. How to rectify the errors in our sattvic activities and overcome the deficit, whatever it is, in any form. Agochara, gochara, gross, subtle, all forms, that some deficit is there in yajna, dana, tapas, and ahara that we can rectify. At least ahara, food, we know, we can see the ingredients. They are gross. We know from where the food is come, where we have taken the ingredients and who is cooking it. All that is there. But still, the others are very subtle. This tapas, yajna, and all that are very subtle. So how to see in this food? I wanted to include one nice example in this food. In the food, there are, of course, as in all other elements, the food has got the gross form, which is after digestion, the gross is excreted. And the subtle part of the food that we take, what will happen to that? It goes into our bone marrow and, the vitamins, the minerals, all the good things they go into the bloodstream and they nourish the body. And there's a subtler element in the food. What happens to that? Come on.
That stays into our sukshma sharira kind of thing, and in our thought process, thinking, behaviors.
Guna. Correct.
Yeah.
It becomes a part of our guna. Isn't it? Becomes a part of my DNA, my vasana. That is why from where who has cooked the food, from where is it coming from, becomes very, very important. So there's a beautiful example for this in the life of Bhishma Pitamaha. Okay. So after the Kurukshetra war, after Yudhishthira was coronated, he was still feeling very, very upset. He was not at all a happy king. He was he was lamenting. Are Bapre, what have I done? I've killed so many people and sitting on the throne, there's blood on my hands. He had a Macbeth moment, or Macbeth's wife's moment, I think. What did she say? All the rivers of whatever cannot cleanse my bloody hands or something like that. So Yudhishthira was doing that. And Krishna said, again, Bhagavad-gita has to start again for this guy. In the beginning of Kurukshetra, I had to tell Arjuna, and now at the end of Kurukshetra, I have to tell this Dharmaraya, what do I do? And so he took the whole Pandavas along with Draupadi to Bhishmacharya, who was lying on his bed of arrows with his head dangling. And then Bhishma requested Arjuna, look, my head is hurting. And so Arjuna gave him an arrow, pillow of arrows. And then there was the water also he gave, everything happened. And then Krishna said, now look, you advise. I have done all my advice is done in the Gita, but now Dharmaraya wants some advice. You give him advice. So Bhishma gave him full dharma, Raja Dharma, everything he gave the advice to Yudhishthira. Draupadi was smiling, very sarcastic smile. So Bhishma asked, why are you smiling? She said, no, 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 nothing, nothing. Then Bhishma said, look, a person like you smiles, there must be something behind it. Tell me, why are you smiling? So she said, you are giving big lectures on dharma. What happened to your dharma when I was being molested in your court in front of your very eyes? It's a legitimate question, no? Valid question. She should ask. All you big Maharathis were sitting there so helpless. What got into you? So what was the answer Bhishma gave? With respect to the background we just had about the food, what do you think he said? Hmm?
He ate their annam, that's the reason.
What
The
did
food.
he say?
He ate the food being in the leadership kind of thing. Yeah.
Correct. Bhishma's mind was corrupted because he was in the asthana of Duryodhana, who was so evil. And the food prepared in under Duryodhana's leadership in the palace was also, he see, namak halal. What is the meaning of this namak halal? That being loyal to your master. So the master was Duryodhana and his namak was corrupt. And so having ingested the food, all these Drona, Krupa, Bhishma and all those Maharathis sitting in the palace of Duryodhana, their guna had also become tamasic. That is why when the time came for them to protect dharma, they failed. See, that subtle it is. What kind of food, who has prepared the food, with what bhavana, in whose house you are going to receive the food, it is very important. That is why in this 23rd shloka of the Gita, Bhagavan is giving us a way out of overcoming. We are not in control of circumstances most of the time. We don't know where we go. We don't know who is preparing the food. Nowadays in Kali Yuga, now at this particular stage of life, the time period that we are in, we eat a lot of food outside. We have no idea whether the fellow who has cooked has taken a bath or not. Let's not go into the gory details of how the food might have been prepared. But we are happy that Bhagavan is giving us a beautiful way out of all this. What is that way out? We'll chant this shloka number 23. Yes. Om Tat Saditi nirdeśho brahmaṇās tri-vidhaḥ smṛitaḥ brahmaṇās tena vedāśh yajñāśh vihitāḥ purā. Once more. Om Tat Saditi nirdeśho brahmaṇās tri-vidhaḥ smṛitaḥ. First one is brahmana. Brahmaṇās tena vedāśh yajñāśh vihitāḥ purā. Yes, who wants to chant? Start with Chandra.
Om Tat Saditi nirdeśho brahmaṇas smṛitaḥ brāhmaṇās tena vedāśh yajñāśh vihitāḥ purā.
Om Tat Saditi nirdeśho brahmaṇas tri-vidhaḥ smṛitaḥ brāhmaṇās tena vedāśh yajñāśh vihitāḥ purā.
Yes, beautiful.
Okay, may I?
Yes.
Om Tat Saditi nirdeśho brahmaṇas smṛitaḥ brāhmaṇās tena vedāśh yajñāśh vihitāḥ purā.
Okay, in the first line, brahmaṇas tri-vidhaḥ smṛitaḥ.
Okay. Om Tat Saditi nirdeśho brahmaṇas tri-vidhaḥ smṛitaḥ brāhmaṇās tena vedāśh yajñāśh vihitāḥ purā.
Yes. Brahmaṇās tena. Look at the Sanskrit, that is much better. All our Indian languages are phonetic. English is a bit problematic. Yes.
Om Tat Saditi nirdeśho brahmaṇas tri-vidhaḥ smṛitaḥ brahmaṇas tena vedāśh yajñāśh vihitāḥ purā.
Yes.
ॐ तत्सदिति निर्देशो ब्रह्मणस्त्रिविधः स्मृतः ब्राह्मणास्तेन वेदाश्च यज्ञाश्च विहिताः पुरा.
Yes.
ॐ तत्सदिति निर्देश ब्रह्मणस्त्रिविधः स्मृतः ब्राह्मणस्तेन वेदाश्च यज्ञाश्च विहिता पुरा.
Yes.
Om Sat Siditi Nirdesho Brahmaṇas Trivida Smritaha Brahmaṇas tena vedāśh yajñāśh vihitāḥ purā.
Perfect. Padmaja?
ॐ तत्सदिति निर्देशो ब्रह्मणास्त्रिविधः स्मृता ब्राह्मणास्तेन वेदाश्च यज्ञाश्च विहिता पुरा.
Okay. Shweta, you want to try?
Yeah, I'll try Purnima-ji. Om Tat Sat iti nirdeśho brahmanasya trivida smritaha brahmanastena
Vedāśh
vedāśh yajñāśh vihitāḥ purā.
Very beautiful. Very nice. Nirmala is not here, no? She must have left for some reason. Okay. So what does this shloka say? Om Tat Sat iti nirdeshaha. The words Om Tat Sat have been declared as what? As symbolic representation of the absolute truth, the beginning of creation. From them came the priests, the scriptures, and the sacrifice. Brahmaṇās tena. They came from brahmaṇāha, yajñāha, and vedaha. They came from this Om Tat Sat. Who chanted this Om Tat Sat? Any guess? In the beginning of creation, who chanted this Om Tat Sat?
Brahma.
Brahmaji was ordered. I mean, he got the inspiration from Narayana, of course, that he should start creation. And so he created something in the beginning, but he wasn't happy with it. These are all anecdotes and stories. I don't know how. And then he said, oh, I have made a mistake. I haven't remembered the Lord who has given me the direction. And so he chanted Om Tat Sat. And then he began the creation. So now we have to unpack this shloka word by word. So what do we know about Om? Why is this Om Tat Sat so potent? What is it about this which is so lovely? So what do we know about Om? Everyone come up with one point. What do we know about Om?
I understand. Om means it is the whole God, universe created by God.
Correct.
God himself is called Om.
Correct. It's the name of God. Om Tat Sat are all names of God. 3 names of God. Primordial, beginningless names of God. Om Tat Sat. Everything means God. Om is God. Yes. Next.
Om is a universal sound, ma.
Om is the primordial universal sound. Yes, perfect.
It's made of 3 syllables. A, U, Ma.
Correct. It's made of 3 syllables. A, U, and Ma. Amele. Yes, Padma.
Om denotes purna, completeness.
Completeness. Yes. Beautiful.
These are the made with a, u, oma, which are this only syllables which do not use our tongue anta. Without our tongue. Rest all the things we need the help of the tongue. So
Perfect.
without anything, this is it. So these have very powerful effect on the system anta.
Correct. Perfectly said. Beautiful point. Amale. Nirmala is very quiet today. I guess she is not able to talk. Otherwise, she would have given us so much jnana on this. Okay. So all these points are beautiful.
She was trying to get in, but she was getting this.
No, she is here now. Nirmala is online.
Already
Okay.
there. She's there, yeah.
She's here. She's here. So there's this very beautiful scripture called the Mandukya Upanishad. Anything you want to know about Om is in this Upanishad, Mandukya. And like all of us mentioned, Om has got 3 syllables, A, U and Ma. And what Mandukya says is that the A, U and Ma and Om itself, they represent 3 states. What states? Enappa, what are the 3 states that the 3 syllables of Om represent? Wild guess. What 3 states? Very.
Waking, sleeping, and
Perfect.
dreaming.
Yes.
Deep
It's
sleep.
about me. It's about me, the jiva. What are the states that I undergo every day? Waking, sleep, and waking, dreaming, and deep sleep states. Om represents me. It represents God and it represents me also, the jiva, who is undergoing these modifications. Actually, I'm not undergoing, but I think I'm undergoing these modifications. Okay. And then beyond this A, U, and Ma, what else is there in Om? Let us chant. You can mentally chant. Om. 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 What is that? What else is there in this Om?
Silence.
That is the critical part of Om. In between the 2 chants of Om, there is a silence. What is that silence? What is that state, if you want to call it that?
Turiya?
Correct. Turiya means it is the foundation of all these modifications. Sleeping, dreaming, deep sleep. Beyond all this is, beyond or through all the states is the Turiya, which is the unchanging basis on which all this is happening, the screen on which all these natak is happening. Om, the waking, dreaming, and deep sleep, it represents the entire creation and how it is manifested and how it is behaving. But the screen of all this is the Turiya. So Om represents everything. Like someone said, it is Purna. Like Kamala said, it is Purna. It represents everything that is happening in the manifest universe with the silence as the background.
So
Alva?
it is also said that when we chant
Hmm.
comes from our, if you observe that with eyes closed and we just say the point comes from the navel point. Alinda, that sound comes. So, and that is called the point of preservation, it seems. The Vishnu's point is this point. So if you're chanting it is like you are invoking Lord Vishnu.
Correct.
And then U is the heart or Anahata chakra. That is where it activates. So, and that is the seat of Brahma and Saraswati. So, and Ma is the Agnya chakra. Vishuddhi from the throat, which is Shiva. Ma. That is what what I have heard. When we the vibrations they pass on from this to this whole and that set over there. So, so if you have to have this, Lord Vishnu is also known. Vishnu or Lakshmi is known for richness. So if you are chanting there, it seems one can become rich. That is what they say. U says knowledge, and Ma is for the clarity and Vishuddhi, Shiva. However, we are not supposed to say just like ah anta. There should be a balance between ah, ma. It is together Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara.
Correct.
So whenever we are chanting Om, it has to be equal. You have to see that it's equal and Ma. So Ma, it cannot be like I want to become a lot of richness. I want to become rich. So a lot of and then adu madbardu.
Good points, Padmaja. Thank you. Thank you, really. So this A, and Ma should not be chanted separately. It has to be Om only. I mean, when you break it down, it is A, U, and M. But when you are chanting, it has to be Om only, has to be there. Okay, so that's a whole technique of how to chant Om. And like Suma pointed out, it is Om. Somebody pointed out, and Ma, they're the beginning of the Akshara Mala itself. So everything in between is the manifest universe. Nama and Rupa. They form the words. What is the world other than words? Nothing. What is the world other than names and forms? Nothing. So, aham, and hum, and brahmasmi. Now you get it. What is this aham? Aham is me. Aham is God. Aham is the world. Aham is the manifest world. Brahman, I am Brahman. Because everything is in between and ma. Everything. Think of whatever it is. So this Om is nothing but Saguna Brahman, like God, like Ramaji said. It is God itself. It is Saguna Brahman. So where is this Saguna Brahman located? Where is it? Somewhere up in the heavens? No. Where is it? Where is the Saguna Brahman?
In ourselves,
Within us.
within us.
In consciousness.
Yeah.
In consciousness. Whenever I say me or in us, it becomes a limited entity. It is not my consciousness or her consciousness. It is consciousness. That's it. It is ekameva advitiyam. All consciousness is, for everyone, is one and the same. So where is the universe? It is in consciousness. Where am I, this little jiva? I am in consciousness.
Purnimaji, so is it not nirguna? How it becomes saguna?
Saguna, because Om is about the Saguna manifestation. The silence is Nirguna.
Okay.
Alva? Because these three states it is representing. Waking, dreaming, and sleep. When I'm waking, I see a manifest world. When I'm dreaming, I see another subtle universe. When I'm deep sleep, everything has gone into the seed form to spring up again. Alva? Both the subtle and gross come up again when I'm, all the states are, it's a continuous, this thing is happening. It's a manifest universe is Om. That is why it is Saguna Brahma. And the Turiya, the silence is Nirguna Brahma. So all the activity, when we chant Om, all the activities will keep flowing as per the, as per how the gods want it. Without this Omkara, don't start anything. It purifies our actions and the actor also. That is me, the little me. And I believe the sannyasis are always asked to chant Om. They have to do Om Japa all the time. What about Grihasthas? They say don't do only Om. If you have to do a chanting of Om, add it with some Saguna form. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, whatever. But Grihasthas have to chant it along with a Saguna form of God, their Ishta Devata. That is what it is said. Because we are not ready like sannyasis to give up everything. Om is, when you just chant Om, it is for the highest seeker, a sannyasi. For us, it's a little bit happy. Like Padmaja said, we have to invoke all the gods. So we have our Ishta Devata also added. Otherwise, the seeker, the Grihastha will neither be here nor there. Neither can the Grihastha enjoy the Grihastha family life, nor can he become so detached like a sannyasi and will be stuck like a Trishanku. So, When the time is right, I'm sure we will get the advice to chant only Om. But for now, if we have received a mantra diksha from the Guru, Om and Namaha should be there in any mantra. Otherwise, any Ishta Devata, you can say Krishna, 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 you say Amma, 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 Devi, 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 whatever it is, that is good for us. Okay, so when we do this Om, it will purify our actions. And the end of any yajna or dana or tapas, we have to say Om Tat Sat. Om Tat Sat. That has to be accompanied by this Om Tat Sat at the end of any action. So,
Purnimaji, so you said Brahmaji said Tat Sat and then he started. No, how, why?
yes, yes. But for us, that is the instruction. You start with Om, or see any three names of God. You can only say Tat, that is also God.
correct.
You can say Sat, that's also God. In the end, it has become a what you call loka rudhi to say Om Tat Sat. Everything. Let us not give it. Let us use all the three names.
Yeah.
It's become a rudhi. That's all, Kamala. Om Tat Sat. We say, no? It's become so, we have practiced saying that. Om Tat Sat. See, any mantra, it starts with Om Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu. We will not say Om Tat Sat, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, isn't it? But at the end, concluding something, we say Harihi Om Tat Sat, Krishna Arpanamastu.
Right. We begin with Om and end with Tat Sat.
Yes. Just to have a discipline, just to have a, let us not be random. We will have some discipline in what we are doing. Strict advice is given, stick to it. That's all. So this is about Om. And what about Tat? What do we know about Tat? Tat Tanrenu. It's so close to the English, that. Tat means that. Om, Tat, that. That indicates what? It's something which is far away. It is not this, it is that. So what is this and that? Om is this. Om is this. What is this? We just discussed. It is the manifest universe. What I know. It is so easy for me to relate to the waking, dreaming and deep sleep states, because day in and day out, I am going through this. And the universe is going through this with the sunrise and the sunset and the birds and the everything going to sleep, it is becoming dark, waking up. It is a very, very natural phenomenon which I am very, very, very familiar with. And that is Om, that is God. So this is this. I know this. As a jiva, I am very familiar with this state, Om. What about that? Something very distant. Something which I have only heard of, something which I cannot grasp with my senses. I cannot experience that. That means that Nirguna Brahman. This can be experienced. That cannot be experienced. So it is that. So where has this come from? Where has Om come from? Where has the manifest universe come from? It has come from Tat. It's not at all far away, but I feel it's far away because I don't know. Because I am not really, I have heard about it, but I have not felt it, I am not living it. That is why it feels Tat. It's that. And see how beautifully the scriptures, the Vedas, they go along with my ignorance. I feel that Brahman is far. So the Veda said, okay, you go with, we will also agree. You don't know it, so we'll call it Tat. So Om, this, Tat, that is Sat. They're both the same, and that's the truth. Om and Tat is Sat. So where has this manifest universe come from? It's come from Brahman. It's the unchanging substratum of the Srushti, Sthiti, Laya, which is that, Turiya. So, for impure minds or for the ignorant, Tat is somewhere else. But for the pure ones, Tat is me, my own self. Tat is this, that is this for the pure ones. Okay. And then what else can we say about that? Okay. When Om, when we start any karya we start, we say Om. That means to pray, let all the actions that I'm undertaking, let them go smoothly. Okay, at the beginning we say Om. This Tat, yes, Chandra, this today's class is being recorded. And Tat is to, it is said, Tat is the first is Om is the waking state. Tat is, see, everything is related to waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. In waking state, Om. Second day, dream state is a subtle state. Dreaming means not unreal, but everything is unreal, but let's not go there. Dream state is the waking state is gross, dream state is subtle. In that, when we say Tat, we are saying renouncing the results of the yajna also. We are starting the yajna or the karya or the karma, whatever it is. In Tat, we are renouncing the fruits of the yajna. That is a very technical explanation given to this Om Tat Sat. Because just like a dream state, which is subtle, the state is the dream is unreal. In the same way, the results that we ask, they are also unreal. That is the whole point. Why are the results unreal? What is the definition of unreality? That which is unreal. What is it? How would you explain a dream? In dream, I had a fantastic holiday in Europe or wherever, your exotic place, the Bahamas or Hawaii or Bali or whatever it is, in the dream. When I wake up, what happened to the dream? What happened to all the pleasures that I underwent in the dream? Vanished. Yeah, it's gone. So whatever the experience I had and all the bhoga that I had in the dream is all unreal. Similarly, the results of any action also is very temporary. It's impermanent. It is there for a while and then it is gone. That is why this is the unreality of the entire thing. That I renounce. Okay, I don't want anything unreal, Baba. God, I am doing this for you. That should be the attitude of any work that I undertake. I am not doing it for any phala. Though I am doing all the yajna phala with all the sankalpa, everything I do. Putra kameshti irbodu, whatever it is. Any yajna I start with a sankalpa, Om. And then when I say, at the end, when I say Tat, okay, now I have finished all my activities. Now the results I offer unto you, my Lord, the God. Om Tat. So how to renounce? It's very, just because I say Tat, it doesn't mean I'm renouncing, because I don't know how to renounce. Unless I have a deep understanding of how the entire universe is working, is it easy for me to renounce anything? Now here comes how to renounce. You tell me, anyone. How can I renounce the fruit of my actions? What is the understanding behind it? Anyone can pitch in here. Knowing what I'll be able to renounce.
Knowing that is not permanent
Mm.
and that's not real too. And at the same time, it has a karma impact.
Yes.
We renounce kind of thing.
That's very important. It has a karma impact. It goes and goes round and round and round. I ask for something, I get the result, I enjoy the result, and I want more because it's impermanent. I do the whole thing again. Again, I get a result. It's an unending cycle. So at every coffee that I have, I say Om Tat Sat. Cut it there and then. Tomorrow again I have coffee. That's fine. Again say Om Tat Sat. See, this is the famous example given by, very popular example given by Prabhuji. How to renounce. Who made my coffee? You ask that question. When you're having coffee, just reflect. Who made this coffee? What's the answer? who can give me that whole cycle? It's a beautiful prakriya that, Prabhuji has given us. Who made the coffee? I'm sure.
Generally, when
Huh?
we say I made the coffee, when we say I made the coffee or I made good coffee, then Prabhuji will always ask, like, did you get the milk? Did you get the
Yes.
coffee powder? Did you create this? Did you? The end of this
Yes.
thing session will be, I did nothing
Did nothing.
and I didn't do anything. I didn't get the milk, coffee powder, sugar, heat, or
I didn't
anything.
make it. I didn't make the coffee powder. I didn't, I haven't even milked the cow. At least in earlier days, they would milk the cow. That also I am not doing. Okay, I can claim I went to the store and I got milk, or I have paid money and the milk has come to me. And I know how to mix the ingredients. I know how much decoction. Oh, she makes wonderful coffee. Oh, Vidyarthi Bhavan coffee is the best because he has got the good combination of decoction, this, that, vagara, vagara. But we have to go further than the gross. Who has given me the intelligence to make all these things? Who has given me the intelligence to mix all these ingredients? How am I lifting my hand? That is how we have to go. It's an involuntary, motion. Am I in control of it? No. How much blood is rushing through my hand to lift my hand? Am I in control of it? No. How is the heart pumping the blood? How is my brain giving all these, commands to all my organs to do the right things? Subtle, subtler, and I come to know that I'm in charge of nothing. Nature is taking care of everything. I'm really not in charge. And in fact, there is some experiment called the Levitt experiment, which was done a couple of years ago, in which they had wired up a person with all these probes, and there was a monitor to see the nervous brain activity was being monitored. And he was given the instructions to raise the hand. Okay. And the fellow raised the hand. And they discovered that there was some millisecond, whatever that milliseconds of gap between the brain giving the instruction until the time he raised the hand, till he made the sankalpa to raise the hand. That means the brain had already given the instruction to raise the hand. Something like that. That means my decisions have already been taken. By whom? Don't ask. It's already been done. So when this debate of this free will and this thing comes, these experiments are quoted at length by all, even the Western, philosophers or, scientists also. So it is very subtle. Bottom line is, I am not in control of anything. That is why I should be able to renounce. That is how we started this discussion. How to renounce, understanding all this in the background. Array, I am not doing anything. I am ekashchit. I am nothing. I am nothing. God is doing everything, or the universe is doing everything. I am just an instrument. Nimitta matram bhava savya sachi. That is what Krishna has told Arjuna and all of us. Nimitta matram. You are an instrument. You are like the bamboo, and be like the empty bamboo in my hands, and I'll make beautiful music out of you. You can make beautiful coffee if you become the instrument. If I think I am the instrument, I am myself, the instrument, the car is assuming I am the, I am the owner, or I am the driver itself, the car. Now, of course, they are self-driven cars. So it's going to be a problem. Yes. So this is how to renounce. That is tat. You renounce the fruit of the action.
Shall I read out the very beautiful
Yes, please.
given by Chinmaya?
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. With the utterance of the Tat alone, the acts of sacrifice, penance, and gift are undertaken by the seekers of freedom without expectations of any reward. That indicates the universal truth, and it declares the oneness of all living creatures. To remember the larger interests of the family is to forget our own self-interest. To work for the community is to obliterate our own family interests. To work for the national redemption is to overlook the limited community benefits. And to work for the world and humanity is to sink our national interests. Thus, to work in the field of yajna and or tapas or dana with a mind that is tuned up to Tat, the universal oneness of the spiritual truth, is to work with no ego and consequently redeem ourselves from the thraldom of the flesh, from all the limitations of matter.
Correct. Very beautifully put. Thank you, Gurudev, is what is called Chinmayananda. So yeah, exactly what it is. We start with a very, very limited, my family, nangodledagli. And then we go to society. Oh, let my whole neighborhood be happy. And then from society, you go to the country. Bharatak olledagli. And then you go to the universe. And then you leave that also. That's what you have to become bigger, 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 and more selflessness. And then you come to, and there was one line that said, for the seekers of liberation. This is for mumukshus, for us, all of us sitting here now. It is for the mumukshus who are trying to understand the big picture and they want to be liberated from this cycle of birth and death. This is for us. Otherwise, for other, for the ordinary people, it's fine. They can do kamya karmas, but we are on the path of karma yoga. So this is for, Tat is for mumukshus and to renounce all the fruits of the action. And for, if you're having any, intention, it is for Jagat Hita, for everyone. Padmaja.
Okay, I have something to share on the surrender part of it. Like a few lines. Share, Malla.
Yes, of course.
So what is surrender, Anta? We always say that we have to surrender, we have to surrender. So surrender is not giving up. So surrender is about aligning with life's natural flow instead of forcing outcomes. Idu agbeku, you have to, this should happen, this should not happen. It's not like that.
Yes.
It is surrender is about aligning with life's natural flow instead of forcing outcomes.
Perfect.
I trust what's meant for me will come. I release the need to control every detail. Surrender is a sign of strength. It's not weakness. Some people say, this is like surrender, Anta. It's a weak. She's very weak, not strong, Anta. It's a sign of strength. It means you do your best and let go what you can't control.
Yes.
Surrender is ultimate spiritual power. It's the key to freedom, peace, and alignment with your higher self. So surrender is the key to freedom, peace, and alignment with your higher self. So what are the practical steps to surrender? So there are 5 practical steps that I'll share. Number 1, cultivate awareness. Number 2, trust the timing. Trust that everything unfolds at the right time. Third, use affirmations. Affirmations like, I trust the process of life. I let go and flow with ease.
Beautiful.
Fourth, meditate, which helps to connect with the present moment and release the mental clutter. And the last one, first you try surrendering small things first. Like letting go of the irritation when we are in traffic or, getting late for something. So that kind of irritations or something like this, so you should surrender. And later you can look at the bigger aspects of it.
Hey, very beautiful points, Padmaja.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. That was so well said in simple English. What Krishna has said in Sanskrit, it's been put in English. Sharanagati is nothing but that.
Excuse me, Padmaja. Sorry, I was actually, unconsciously trying to rewind and listen to the last part that you said. Could you please repeat it? The about the traffic, the irritation in traffic.
All it says is, if you are looking at surrendering, surrender the small things first. So sometimes we get of irritation, when small traffic is there, we are getting late for something, we get so upset. So those kind of surrenders, if we start first, then we can look at the bigger aspects of surrendering. Letting go of irritation in traffic is, you can start with, that's all.
Very nice.
Example.
Thank you.
And for whom is this advice, Padmaja? For which kind of Shraddha, seeker? That's also very important. Can we give this advice to a tamasic person?
No, someone, I think someone who is, all people like us, this is
Seekers.
applicable. That's all.
Mm.
Because
Not
otherwise, if you tell it to someone else, they will not understand.
they will not understand, and they will happily surrender to a samasic person. Okay, I will not get up from bed. Surrender.
And
Not-
it may go in a reverse way. So,
it will be detrimental. So
yes.
that is why in the beginning of this chapter itself, Bhagavan has said, you understand what kind of Shraddha you have. Only for the fellow with a Sattvic Shraddha, all these injunctions are given. That is the basic requirement. Your intention has to be, you should be, reasonably refined human being to receive all these instructions. Very good, very beautiful.
I
And
did a small exercise of surrendering this month. The whole month of November, I was saying no onion, garlic. We eat onion, garlic, and chilies. So no onion, garlic, chilies. Anta 1 month. I did it successfully.
that is your
so
sankalpa.
difficult actually, but yes. And especially when you go outside, like I had to drop my mom to the railway station. I was hungry and wanted to eat something. So I was saying, okay, I'll eat. My son was telling, okay, we'll eat here only. On the SMBT, there's one rail coach restaurant. So he wanted to eat there. So I said, do you have anything without onion, garlic? So he said fried rice. So another point was no fried food. Anta. So I said, I can't eat fried. He said, very less oil. I can put it out without onion, garlic. So I ate that. It was fine.
How nice. How nice.
So I
Very
think
good, Padmaja. Yeah, we need to test ourselves like that. How am I a slave of my mind, or am I in control of my mind? That's a very good exercise to do. Little things you can surrender and try to implement in life. Very good. Or even something simple like cutting down on the number of cups of coffee or tea I have. Whatever. It's good. It's a good exercise to discipline the mind. Yes, the mind is the very critical player in all this whole thing. The mind and intellect. Very important.
Purnima ji, I would like to add something.
Yes.
I was a very tea lover. And once Samay was about to born, I took a challenge that I'll not never drink tea in the rest of my life. So I stopped drinking.
Oh,
So
done.
just done. And rarely, if I feel like, then I drink half a cup of coffee. Otherwise, no. Otherwise, milk, a cup of milk. That's all. So
Very
it's
good.
all about mindset. What we decide on doing things.
Mind can be very powerful and it can be controlled. It has got so much power, but it needs to be directed in the right path. It's like an elephant. It can either, it can be a, elephant which is drunk and take you haywire, or you can be the Mahat who can train this white elephant and bring it on the path and go where you wish to, which is very nice. Good. And one more thing about this surrender thing, the surrender has to follow a certain action also. Go with the flow of life is good. But then, what about Purushartha? What is Purushartha, people? Things we have to do is Purushartha. Isn't it? Everything is go with the flow is fine. But then to go with the flow, you should be doing something also. So here, to make it very clear, I would love to quote this George Washington. It's a lovely quote. He has said, I work as if everything depends on me. And I pray as if everything depends on God. That is Purushartha and grace combined. Whatever duties we have to do through the day, I do it as if it is my job, it is my responsibility, and I have to do it well. In the background, I know I cannot lift my hand without, the blood pumping, vagara, everything is fine. But I have to use all the things that God has given me, blessed me with, to do the action that I'm doing to the best of my ability. Everything depends on how I do my work. That is the attitude while I'm working. And after that, when I say Om Tat Sat and renounce, I'll say everything is yours. I pray as if everything depends on God. Isn't that the
So beautiful
quote? Isn't it? It's so beautiful, and it summarizes the whole this chapter. I would say Om Tat Sat is summarizing. how to work and how to renounce, how to pray. Beautiful. Okay, there's a lot more about Sat also. We haven't even touched on Sat, and we have done just the one line of the shloka, which we can continue in the next week. So much going for this one shloka. It's so beautiful. And I hope next week Nirmala will be able to speak and give us more inputs. Okay. So we'll close for the day. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityormam Amrutam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Nanembudu nanalla. Ideha Manabuddhi nanalla. Satchidanandatma Shivananu nane. Shivoham Shivoham Shivoham. Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Krishnarpanamastu.